Howdy y'all, my name is Edine, this is my beautiful wife Melinda. We are known as Hustlin' Hooks. We are full-time sellers out of the beautiful state of Michigan, and today is another episode of What Sold Over the Weekend.
As usual, lots of variety, lots of different categories. We are going to start off with the what sold for over $100 category because there was enough to fill that, and there were some good ones in there, all pretty big. Stay tuned for that. And then, as always, we'll go over our numbers at the end to give you a realistic idea of what you can expect to put in your pocket after a, I would say, average weekend.
I like saying average also because we didn't list very much on Thursday. We didn't list anything on Friday. We did a bunch of home projects over the weekend. I think over the weekend we listed maybe 6 or 7 things total, and they were primarily shoes.
Yeah, I was here and there.
Yeah, but we dedicated some time to catch up on house stuff. So I think with that in mind, we're probably, if we do that again, we'll probably take Wednesday off. That way we can kind of load up for the weekend on Fridays, since that usually works well. But still solid.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's jump into the sales. So these are all of the sales that we had that were over $100. So we feel like we had enough this weekend just to kind of walk you through the 100 and above segment. So we'll start first with this Encyclopedia Britannica set that we scored for only $30 off of our local Facebook marketplace that we flipped and sold on eBay for $250. Let me show you that. We have sold this exact set before. The last time we picked it up for $15, this time we picked it up for $30. You know, the margins are still there. It's complete, as you can see in the title, and there is a print date on here. So there's definitely different variants of this encyclopedia. So you want to flip through the first couple of pages and you're going to find a set, and this one was 1964. If you find some of the original sets, those can be worth a lot more money. These were in really nice condition. The only call out on these is just be aware that it costs a lot to ship. I believe that medium male has a weight restriction of 70 pounds. This weighs over that, so we're going to have to ship it in 2 different boxes. Most likely we're going to ship them either UPS ground or USPS medium mail, depending on which one is cheaper. Last time we sold it, it was about $80 just to ship them. So we definitely built that into the price. So again, happy with the sale, happy to move all this weight. Just a heads up, books are heavy, and even though it's medium mail, it can be very expensive. The next one is another Wii bundle. So we've sold a lot of these. In this case, we included 4 games, including these 3 cheap ones and Wii Sports. So it comes with the console, 2 joysticks, 2 nunchucks, Wiimotes, and all the cables. So we have about $40 allocated into this. A couple of videos ago, we talked about allocating how we do that, so definitely check that out. We have 40 into it, and it sold for $130. It took about a week to sell. This Breville Smart Oven sold. It's too big and too heavy for me to pick up, so I'll talk about it a little bit. I paid $75 for it, and it sold for $300 with free shipping. Again, it's a bigger box. We allocated about $50 for shipping, and we'll keep you posted on both of these, the Encyclopedia and this Breville, to tell you exactly how much they shipped for, so you can kind of see how we priced that into the total listing amount. Really happy to see this go. The only downside is that it doesn't have the original styrofoam, but we do have scrap pieces of styrofoam, so we're going to build a nice protective layer inside of the box, and then we're going to rebox this into a blank cardboard box and ship it out. This is the next one. This set of G.I. Joe sold, and it's not just the figures, it's this case, this bolt, and what really makes it valuable are all of these accessories. There are so many guns and clothes and armors and all sorts of army equipment in here. It's a pretty neat set. Want to inform you a little bit about that G.I. Joe set as well. So I picked it up for $40 and it sold for $325 on a best offer. Now, we had it listed for $500 or best offer, and as you know, we usually don't have that best offer feature on, but because it was so difficult for me to assess the actual value, I figured, hey, list it high, and if someone gives us a reasonable offer, which $325 was to us, we'll accept it and move on. Let us know in the comments below. Do you think we underpriced it? Should we have countered, right? So we listed at $5, they came in at $325. Now remember, we had this day pay shipping, and we only paid $40 for the whole set. So would you have turned the $40 into $325 plus day pay ship? Tell us what you would have done. Also, these are all from the mid to late 1990s all the way up to 2001. They're not the original 1960s. Those are worth a ton of money. So Don't be afraid when you're out shopping at garage sales. Just take off if they have any clothing. You can usually find some sort of marking and they'll have their date on it. So this probably won't show up very well on the camera, but this is where it's located. It might also be on the lower back. So yeah, it's a little bit wild to start undressing dolls at a garage sale, but the date definitely matters. So definitely keep that in mind. Like I said, 14 to 325 out the door in about 10 days. That's it for all the above 100 sales. Mona's gonna come back with the next category. Here are all those books. So each box, so 2 shipments, and you can do 2 different orders when you print labels off of eBay. Media mail was the cheapest. They both shipped for $41.50 each. So 83 bucks to ship both of them. Again, they sold for $2.50. We factored in shipping into that price. This is the Breville. This is the Breville right here. That only cost $22 to ship, and we factored in $50, so we win a little bit on that one, which is nice.
Hi everybody, I'm going to talk about our one sale that we made on Etsy first. So as you can see, it's an Admiral, it's a VHS player. This sold for $70 on Etsy. Etsy is great because you only have 5% fees. That is free shipping as well. And I wanted to talk about what you're able to sell on Etsy. Someone had made a comment that they thought you could only sell handmade items on Etsy, which is not the case. So I just wanted to address that in this video, just so everybody knows what you can sell. So I have the Etsy policies pulled up here, and I'm gonna read right off of their policy. So everything listed for sale on Etsy must be handmade by you, vintage, or a craft supply. And then of course they do have an additional line that says they must follow their prohibited items policy. You'll find that on every site that you sell on, really. Just wanted to point out that you are able to sell electronics on Etsy just so long as they are vintage. We only sell vintage items on Etsy because we don't make anything ourselves and we don't have craft supplies at the moment that we're selling on there. So that's what we sell on Etsy, is just anything that fits that vintage category, and we are able to do that per their own policies. I hope that helps some people feel a little bit more comfortable on what you can list on Etsy. This is a random set of Caraman, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but game pieces that go with an old vintage set. And in a bulk buy, we don't have anything into these, and we sold them for $15. They'll ship first class. Some more video games from our Wii bulk buy. We have 2 motion sensors here in the remote holder sleeves. And what's special about this lot is that you need these motion sensors to play the games on the Wii Sports Resort. So that's why it's a good bundle to put together. We have $10 into everything here, and it sold for $60. We have $5 allocated to this Mario Wii game, and it sold for $38, and it's going international. I also have a book set. It's not quite as lucrative as those encyclopedias. This is a set of 27 Girl Talk books. This is from like the 80s, 90s era. They're a lot lighter, so it'll be a lot cheaper to ship them with media mail. I have 50 cents into each book. So that's $13.50, and they sold for $54. Shipping should be cheaper. These are Skylander portals. They're just pieces that you put the actual figures on. They're 2 of the same portal, but we got them at the bins for $1.50 into both of them. They sold for $20 on Facebook Marketplace, and it might be odd to have the same portal together, but it just wasn't worth it for us to list them separately. The profit margin wasn't there, and we didn't want to sit on just one random piece and one random piece. Now, if you do get the figures for Skylander and you have these portals, that's a different story. Those can sell for more money, depending on the figures and whatnot. Of course, you can get more lucrative lots going as well. The last thing I'm going to go over is another bundle from our Wii buyout. So we have 4 games and obviously the Wii Fit board. These are all compatible with the board, which makes it a little bit more desirable. We usually just pair it with one game. This has 4. And we have $10 into the whole thing, and it sold for $45. For shipping these WeFit boards, we put them in the same boxes that we use for our VHS DVD combo players, which is a 20 by 16 by 4 box, and it usually costs us about $10. I know that's a concern for some people, as they're a little bit heavy, but we usually make out just fine on that shipping cost. Adina will come back and cover the next category.
This entire set of Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars sold for $85 with free shipping, and it's going to Arkansas. It's pretty heavy, but it'll probably ship for about $15. The nice thing about that is that we have zero into it. We got it for free. Someone listed it for $1. We asked how much on local Facebook Marketplace, and they said free. So we picked it up. We plucked a couple of more expensive pieces out. We're going to sell those individually. The rest we sold in a lot, and the plan was to start high and then reduce the price aggressively. That's what we did. We started at $150, and then we just slashed the price by $15 or so about every 5 days or so. And then we came down to $85, and somebody was happy to pay that price. There's nothing really of high value. We could have individually sold them, but that would have taken a long time, lots of customers. So this is what we do with these kind of cheaper items. We can lot them up and just move it. So it'll be about a $50 net profit, obviously worth it for us. This Tyco RC Rebound car sold for $40 with free shipping. We also got this for free with a bunch of RC stuff. It does come with the remote, the back. It doesn't have the cover. It's in rough condition. It's damaged. It's been painted over. No idea if it works, so we sold it for parts again. So again, 0 into 40 shipped. It'll probably cost about $15 to ship this thing out, and the rest is pure profit. We sold another one of these iPod Nanos. This one is brand new but open. I talked about this on the last video too. If you look at the back, it does have that company logo. It's from McCain Foods. These belong to the vice president of merchandising over at Cisco, where I used to work. And we had 3 of them. We bought a bunch of stuff from him. 1 brand new, sealed, already sold, and we have 1 more of these left. So about $10 into each. This one sold for $80 with free shipping. Next up, another one of these tractor belts sold for $17 with free shipping. They'll ship first class. We picked up a bunch of these off of an old barn sale about, what was it, last year? So like 6 months ago or so. They're still selling, regularly for us. We have about 10 of them left or so. So about $1.30 or so into 17, we'll take it. This is a good pickup. We did a lot of multi-quantity listings as well. Super easy to process and ship. We sold 1 pair of jeans. This is GS 115, that's the brand. They're like distressed designer type jeans, nothing too crazy. They sold for $37 with free shipping. Always look at these jeans that are all ripped up, that have contrast stitching or staining or distressed look. Those tend to do pretty well on eBay. We'll put this into a flat rate envelope for $7.18 and get it out the door. That's it for this batch. We're going to pack it up, and Melinda's going to be back to do the last segment, which is all the shoes that sold this weekend.
In our next segment, we'd like to introduce you to some beautiful shoes. First up, we have these lovely Merrells, great treads, nice red color. These sold in 24 hours on eBay for, you guessed it, $40. Our next pair is a lovely Cole Haan leather, Oxford, cool things on the bottom. Treads looking nice, very sharp for a return to the office, coming your way soon. They sold for $55 on eBay. If you're still planning on hitting the pavement this summer, may I suggest a nice, bright, coral and purple pair of Brooks. Ladies, you know that these are fantastic for getting your miles in. Great treads, just what you need to finish off summer strong. $48 on eBay. These sassy skateboarding shoes are DVS, a little pop of color, but overall, awesome neutral black. You could find them on eBay for $50. Lastly, these Chaco sandals, new condition without box. These are selling like hotcakes. You better find them while you can. We sold ours on Facebook Marketplace for $45. With an average buy cost of $7.26 per pair of shoes, these are all winners. Next up, we're going to tell you how much we made this weekend.
hopefully you guys found all of that helpful. I know there's a lot of categories to be covered, and hopefully you guys enjoy the free stuff too, because that's one of my favorite things to sell is things that we get for free off of Marketplace. The interesting thing for me this weekend was that we had on Friday we sold $848 in gross. Then on Saturday we only sold $212 in gross. So we're like, oh man.
Yeah, we were off to a strong start. We're like, yeah, this is going to be a great weekend. It's going to be awesome. Woke up to on Friday a really big sale to begin with.
Right.
That $325 GI Joe sale. So we're like, all right, this is going in the right direction. And then Saturday we were just like,
yeah,
what
that's a good
happened?
expression. Yeah, so then we were like, okay, so what's Sunday gonna look like? Because it was Mother's Day, so happy belated to all you moms out there. But I was like, how are we gonna perform on a holiday? And to our surprise, we did $799 on Sunday on Mother's Day, which was awesome, and so I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, I am too. I think Sunday was a great recovery day, and it didn't really feel like we were super busy. I think there were a couple strong sales in there, so that kind of carried us through. So
yeah, it's nice. Yeah, the nice thing, we sold the Breville for $300, the GI Joe for $325, and the encyclopedias for $250. That we for $130. So that really helped. So I recently was talking or dialoguing with someone on Instagram about this, and they're like, well, wow, how's your net average so high? Mine is only about $5 per transaction, and this is why we continuously encourage you guys to leave most things behind and really be picky in what you're picking up, because A, it's going to sit forever, B, when it sells, you're not going to make much money. So
yeah, the smaller ones are okay to filter in, sprinkle them in if you know it's something that sells well for you, meaning it's going to sell quick for you. But you don't want a lot of stuff that doesn't have high margins just sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting, because you're really going to have to do a lot of busy work essentially to have these really big stores to see enough sales to make a profit. But even then, it's sort of like you've put in the work to have like 2,000 listings to make the same amount that you could be selling with 1,000 listings with half the amount. So
agreed.
Definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own. Do whatever works for you, but just value your time. It's something that we've said many times. So let's go over the entire all the numbers. So the gross sales were $1,859 for the weekend, so $1,859 gross. Now remember, that's the total that we got. And now we're going to subtract our costs of business.
Right. So our cost of goods were $297.
Yeah, pretty good. I paid up for that Breville because I knew that it was over $100 profit after it would sell.
That's right. And when you have bigger sales, you do see bigger cost of goods. Obviously, you're either selling more or you're selling higher value stuff that you do tend to pay up for. So that's pretty normal.
The other one we paid up for were the GI Joe, but that was a great sale. Obviously, 40 into 325 plus they paid for shipping. So hey, happy for that one. The other ones were all pretty, average. And also really happy with the shoe sales this weekend. So the 5 sales, they were all over $40, which is awesome. Because our usual net profit average for shoes is around that $20 mark, which is basically the same thing as saying 35 free shipping. So
yeah, that's true. So it's always nice to see those stronger shoe sales. And then shipping was $244.
Yeah. So again, it was $83 to ship the books. It was about $22 to ship that Breville. So just between those two, that's over $120. And then the rest, 125, is the rest.
For everything else.
So yeah, again, you just
bad.
build it into your expense. And again, a reminder, if you're going to be selling a heavy book set, even though it's media mail, there's a 70-pound limit, and that gets pretty pricey, as you saw.
Right. And then that smaller book set, which was lighter, was only just over $6. So there's your comparison.
Right.
Media mail is cheaper, but like Adine mentioned, if you're doing those big collections, it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and it's a lot of physical labor. Like that thing had me breathing. It's heavy. Lifting 70 pounds. I mean, I lifted those boxes in total of like 10 times. Pack on off the scale, in out the car, on off the I already dropped them off, which I'm glad I did. The countertop at the I even told them too, like, if you guys want me to come back there and help you, I'll be happy to. But anyways. The fees were $260 roughly, which is cost of doing business, no big deal. That's pretty common. About 14% is what we factor in for everything across all the platforms.
So that left us with a net before taxes of $1,057.
Yeah, awesome. Solid. You know,
Definitely, yeah.
Average. Yeah.
And then even after taxes, that leaves us with a really good weekly paycheck for most people. And that was, again, only 3 days.
Yeah, and Toddy's crying because there's a squirrel or a dog outside the window. So that's what that noise is. If you're wondering, it's not our child. It's our fur child.
That's right.
I know. Yeah. Poor Toddy. Anyways, that's it for this video. We hope you enjoyed the content. As usual, like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment below. Say hello. Happy Mother's Day again.
Yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed their weekends, enjoyed some sunshine. If you didn't have sunshine, just enjoyed each other's company. And as always, until next time, take care.
Take care. See you.